Hey everyone, can you feel that subtle shift in the air? That unmistakable bite that whispers, winter is coming. Well, buckle up because this year, it's arriving early. And it looks like it's going to be one for the record books. If the patterns we're seeing now hold, this winter could rival, and in some spots even outdo, the legendary 2013-2014 season. Right now, in late October, the chill is already settling in across the Midwest and Great Lakes. Usually, at this time, we might see some light frost or a crisp morning here and there. But this year, cold air from Canada is plunging south much earlier than usual. By the end of the month, I expect bitter cold to grip areas like Minneapolis, Green Bay, and Chicago. Highs may barely reach the 30s, while wind chills dip into the teens. It's the kind of cold that makes you double-check your heater and pull out those winter coats way before Halloween. And yes, some light snow could even dust parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and northern Michigan before November begins. Moving into November, things start to escalate. The jet stream looks like it will buckle, creating a trough across the central and eastern U.S. that spells repeated injections of Arctic air and the potential for early snowstorms. For cities like Omaha, Des Moines, and Kansas City, we could see a few accumulating snow events, with 3 to 6 inches by mid-month and even isolated spots reaching 8 inches. By late November, that cold air spreads east, and the Great Lakes turn into a snow factory. Lake-effect snow will likely roar back to life. Buffalo, Syracuse, and Erie, you know how this works, could see multiple snow bands dropping 1 to 2 feet in localized areas before December even arrives. By the way, if you'd like specific weather forecasts for your region or city, please leave them in the comments. I'll answer them individually as time allows. Also, if you like the video and subscribe to my channel, you'd be very grateful. Now, let's move on. December is when winter starts to really flex. Blocking patterns over the North Atlantic may trap cold air across the eastern US, creating stretches of unrelenting chill. The Northeast will see frequent snowstorms. Boston could tally 15 to 20 inches, New York City 10 to 14 inches, and upstate New York up to 30 inches by month's end. Meanwhile, the Mid-Atlantic may see their first meaningful snow by early December. Pennsylvania, Virginia, and West Virginia residents, your odds for a white Christmas are looking pretty solid. In the Midwest, December could be intense. Chicago might see up to 18 inches, Detroit 20, and Cleveland pushing toward 25. And don't expect many warm breaks. Highs will run 10 to 15 degrees below normal. Down in the south, cold air will reach as far as Texas and the deep south. Dallas could dip into the 20s multiple times, and Atlanta or Birmingham might see some wintry precipitation in mid-January. Out west, the Rockies and Plains are in for above-average snowfall. Denver could accumulate 70-80 inches, while Cheyenne and Billings may push 90. Montana and Wyoming will see early season storms starting in late October and November, adding up to significant snowpack. Over in the Pacific Northwest, Cascades ski areas should see above normal snowfall. And cities like Seattle and Portland could see a few snow days, small amounts compared to the Midwest, but enough to cause a stir locally. January is the heart of winter. Expect widespread sub-zero mornings across the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, with single digits across the Central Plains. Snow totals will really start stacking. Minneapolis near 45 inches, Chicago around 35, Cleveland possibly 40, and New England, especially Maine and New Hampshire, exceeding 60 inches by the end of the month. February doesn't let up. The cold is likely to persist longer than normal, keeping snow chances high from the central U.S. through the East Coast. Even the southern tier may get a taste of winter. Northern Mississippi, Alabama, and parts of northern Louisiana and Georgia could see snow or ice. The season may even extend into March in the northern U.S., much like the tail end of 2013-2014, when cold just refused to release its grip. To summarize, Midwest and Great Lakes. Early heavy snow. Brutal cold stretches. Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland could see 60-75 inches. Northeast. Cold, snowy, especially inland. Boston 70 inches, NYC 35-40, upstate NY 90+. Plains and Rockies. Repeated storms, big totals. Denver 80 inches, Northern Plains 100+ in spots. South. Cold snaps and occasional snow or ice. Dallas 2 to 4 inches, Atlanta 1 to 2 inches. But the chill is the real story. Pacific Northwest, cooler, snowier. Seattle, 6 to 8 inches. Cascades, 300 plus inches. West Coast, Southwest. Mild, but Northern California mountains may see above average snow, helping snowpack totals. Heading into Saturday, October 25th, that Pacific Northwest storm really ramps up. A strong low-pressure system moves inland, bringing heavier rain to lower elevations and snow to the higher mountain ranges. At the same time, the south-central U.S. stays active, with showers and storms continuing across that region. By Sunday, October 26th, that whole setup shifts eastward. The heavier activity over the southern plains starts to move toward the deep south. Areas near the Mississippi River could see a day of storms and soaking rainfall. Meanwhile, the Northwest continues to see mountain snow and valley rain. On Monday, October 27th, we're tracking a new low developing near the southeast coast. This one could evolve into a coastal system, possibly even a nor'easter-type setup, depending on how close it hugs the shoreline. If it stays a little offshore, wind impacts will be limited, but heavy rain could still spread across the Carolinas, Virginia, Tennessee, and Kentucky. We'll need to keep a close watch on that one, because 5 days out, those tracks can shift west or east easily. Then, by Tuesday and Wednesday, October 28th and 29th, we start to see a clear trough settling into the eastern US, with cooler air dominating. The west starts to build a ridge, while the east deals with another potential coastal low forming off the mid-Atlantic coast. Rain could stretch up and down the I-95 corridor during that time. If that low deepens a bit more, the northeast could see the worst of it by Thursday, especially around Maine and New England. As we close out October and step into November, the overall pattern looks pretty consistent. Ridge in the west, trough in the east. That means cooler than normal conditions for much of the central and eastern US, with a few brief warm-ups in between, but nothing lasting very long. Even though the blues on the temperature maps don't extend deep into the south, those dips in the jet stream signal that chilly air will still be reaching down into areas that normally stay mild this time of year. By November 1st and 2nd, things start to quiet down just a bit, but the models continue to show more low-pressure signals developing offshore. It's worth noting, this is now 3 separate potential coastal systems showing up on model guidance, so that's definitely a trend worth watching. Out west, the pattern remains active, with frequent rain and mountain snow continuing, especially for the Pacific Northwest and southwestern Canada. Taking a look at total precipitation, the models are showing impressive amounts for the Pacific Northwest, parts of the Southwest, and also the deep south and southeast US. Meanwhile, the north, central, and northeastern states look a bit drier overall. In terms of snowfall, the mountains out west look fantastic. We've seen the Sierra Nevada start showing up again in the latest model runs, after missing out earlier this week. Even the mountainous parts of the northeast could see a dusting by the first week of November, which is a great early sign that winter is starting to flex a bit. Temperature-wise, the European model has been a little less aggressive with the cold air than the GFS, but both are showing a long stretch of below normal temperatures in the east. Really, from now through the first week of November, I'm not seeing much warmth showing up at all. Maybe a short break around November 5th, but even that gets replaced quickly by another surge of cold air. The GFS goes even further, showing almost continuous chilly conditions from now through November 8th, with multiple waves of Arctic air reinforcing each other. It's a strong early season signal for an extended cool pattern in the east. Alright, if you'd like specific weather forecasts for your region or city, leave your region or city in the comments. I'll answer them individually as I have time. Commenting is completely free. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.